Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and this is News and Trivia Night. And I had so many people ask to separate the trivia. So I have. Now I'm going to do news, and then I will do a trivia open. So for those that want to speed through it, rewatching can just go right to trivia if they don't want to watch the news. A lot of them say it's political, and they would rather just do the trivia. So, right off, breaking news: explosion at the world's largest rail yard prompts toxic smoke, evacuations in Nebraska. Now, I mentioned this on the last show. An explosion inside the shipping container at the oh boy, world's largest rail yard prompted evacuations in western Nebraska Thursday because of toxic smoke generated when one of the chemicals aboard caught fire. Around noon, the explosion occurred inside an intermodal container on a rail car at Union Pacific Bailey Yard in North Platte. Uh, though it wasn't clear what caused the explosion, the railroad spokesman said no one was injured and no cars were derailed. Authorities evacuated everyone within a 4 mile radius, which is about 280 miles west of Omaha, was evacuated because the smoke, and US Highway 30 was closed between Platte and Hershey. Interstate 80 wasn't affected by the smoke. So here we have another train that has exploded. We've had them derailed. Um, so many things have happened with our railroads. And this is all infrastructure. And when you don't put into your infrastructure, you will um, definitely have issues. And that's what's going on. Now, who's in charge of this but Buttigieg? And he should have been putting money into this after the first few. Not only that, but we have plants exploding. Manufacturer plants that are exploding across the United States. And it's all infrastructure, folks. The dams that are faulty. We got one here at Conway that's faulty. And now we're going to put the money in the right place and we're going to fix the Lake Conway and the dam. If you don't fix your dams, your roads, your bridges, you're going to see collapses. You're going to see issues. And I blame Buttigieg for this. Instead of sending millions and billions to uh, Ukraine, why not use it at home to fix the infrastructures? Um, Iran, boy, Iran is all happy. You know why? Because they're counting the billions Biden sent him. Hey, I seen that, and boy, it made my blood curdle. The timing of the Biden regime announces that it's sending $6 billion to Iran in exchange for 5 American hostages. Was fitting. The announcement came last Monday on September 11th. Yeah. The Biden regime handed over billions to a rogue Islamic regime that will certainly use it to aid jihad groups internationally. We're getting threats now from Al Qaeda and Taliban that they're going to do another September 11th, but worse. And why is um, Khamenei uh, happy? He said the world is on the threshold of a new beginning, of a transformation, which includes the weakening of arrogant powers. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. And considering the fact that Obama, like old Joe, they say, it's fitting that they would send more money. I don't know, Karen, is your bubbling yet? It did with me. They want to expand on the theme of Americans' decline, saying that the transformation of the world is seeing an evolved of the demise of the lone superpower and its allies. The main lines of transformation are several things. First of all, the weakening of the world's arrogant powers. He basically said the Quran has given us a standard. The Quran says Muhammad is a messenger of God and those who are with him. They said, "Are we the prophet or not?" They said, "This is a sign that the United States will fall and they will rise, and the superpower is no more." Wow, man! So Karen, throw popcorn or something because uh, this is very disturbing that they want to um, gloat over the demise. And it's not just us, it's Europe. They're seeing Europe falling too. So, I mean, um, they're licking their lips. The Iran leaders are licking their lips on this, saying, yeah, fall, United States, fall. I don't know if I like that. Um, and then we have the California judge rules teachers cannot, let me reiterate that, be forced to lie to parents about child gender identity. Now, this is in California, folks. Now, it is starting to like the domino effect with these teachers wanting to uh, bring in transgender or inappropriate books. It's really bad when someone in Congress wants to read one of these books and they have to censor them on C-SPAN. If they're going to censor these books just being read to Congress, and they're like, oh, oh, how horrible, the horror. Well, it's not when it's in the hands of a kindergarten. Oh, they're out there for that, though. But it is a huge win in federal court in California. Escondido Union School District has just been blocked by a federal judge from requiring teachers to lie to parents about their own children's gender identity and that it's not going to be allowed. Good for Escondido. Now the rest of California needs to fall into place in the rest of the country. Um, Grenham, Secretary Granholm. Now she's been caught lying under oath. Now I thought that she was going to do this, and I watched this one, and I watched the hearing, and I was like, she lied. And when they did find out she lied, now she is the blonde lady with the glasses. I know everybody would recognize her. I don't have it over on my other page, other screen to show you a picture of her. But she is in April. She started testifying under congressional oath that she didn't own any individual securities stocks, but now we're coming to find out she admitted in a letter to lawmakers that she had, in fact, falsely testified under oath. Now, she could have just said she had stocks, but she didn't. What she stated was she falsely testified under oath. That right there nailed her. So now she could be impeached. One by one, we're seeing this administration falter. Um, and what do we? What I talk about falter? I'm seeing people like her and others that are getting out of office. They're not going to rerun again. Uh, they are going to either resign or they're being impeached and fired. And we have a thing with the CIA and FBI and even the Department of Justice where there has been more resignations right now than there has been in history. And why? Because if they resign, they're hoping that they won't get caught in a scandal or something unlawful. So she deserves this, folks. Um, whether Granholm, um, uh, she did have a variety of stocks in 2021. She acknowledged in the letter, though, which was sent to Senate Energy and Natural Resources, the committee leadership that she maintained that six companies worth up to 120,000 just this last April. She testified in response to a question from Josh Hawley, a Republican from Missouri, that she had sold all of her shares of individual companies. And in addition, um, that her husband Daniel owned over $2,000 worth of shares with Ford Motor Company. Those shares were then sold. They were actually sold, but it wasn't until last Monday. As she says, as a public service, she takes this very seriously, and and she regrets the accidental purchases or not disclosing. She said her spouse is interested in Ford. This is a commitment I made to you and the president, the most importantly, the American people. And since taking office, Granholm has violated the Hatch Act. If you want to know, what the what it was that she violated, it's called the Hatch Act. And she owned Proterra stock while her boss, President Biden, repeatedly promoted the company. And this is where Nancy Pelosi wanted to do the inside stock trading, where they could buy stock and not have to tell anybody. I think they're gonna take this law out. It'd be smart because what they do is their family members or friends or other politicians end up being lobbyists. They end up uh, getting into the company, help them get into a company under either a foundation or another name. It could even be their grandkids. I see. I didn't know you could do stock in your grandkids' name. And see, this is where they're getting stuck, is because they're buying it as a lobbyist. They make the money off of it, and then they go ahead and sell their shares really quick. So they're not looking bad. Pelosi's been doing this for years, folks. Insider trading. Now, what about Hunter Biden? Folks, when you get a gun and you lie on your application, it's serious. Why? The store owner is very liable for this. Not only that, but if you buy at a gun show, that person you buy it for is normally someone that has a gun shop or even a private party. Uh, those are the people that's going to get in trouble for this. And I've been hearing today, he had the gun 11 days and never loaded it. And that's not the point. The point is he lied. And it asks, are you having issues with drugs? It asks if you are under a care of a psychologist. Do you have, it's a whole bunch of um, um, emotional type of questions. Because if you're under the care of a psychiatrist, they really don't want you to have a gun. And they'll throw the book at you for this. Now, they're saying he could see close to 30 years from the crimes he committed. And they're saying, well, what crimes did he commit? Well, he lied on the application, for one. And then he threw the gun away. Where did he throw the gun away? Just a few blocks from a school. Now, what if a kid would have got that gun and shot the school up? They said, oh, but Secret Service went and got it. Nothing happened. Uh, that's not the point. The point is ATF don't like this. And when you lie to them on an application or you throw the gun away in an unsafe place, because you could turn it over to the police department. So why didn't he? Why didn't he just fess up, give the gun to his dad, and tell his dad do something with it, and have his dad dispose of it the right way, and he wouldn't be in this mess. But now get this, he's 3 days away from statute of limitations running out. See, that's the Clintons did. They would run indictments all the way through to where statute of limitations would take over, and then they wouldn't be charged. And I think that's why the Hunter Biden lawyers are had stretched it this far. Even the DOJ, the State Department, FBI, they stretched it, hid it to where statute of limitations would run out and he wouldn't be charged for this. How fair is it to when we see crooks that go in and lie on their applications and the store is nailed for it and fined? And then they go looking for the guy. So is it the store's fault that this guy is a crook? No, they didn't see the warning sign, and that's why they have a waiting period. When you get a gun, you don't necessarily get a gun and they hand it to you. Sometimes there's a waiting period. There's a cool off, and you have to wait to get your gun. And I think, yeah, I think more and more guns should be under this law. And I know my gun friends are probably going to hate me for that one. Uh, but folks, if we don't do the right thing and go in the right direction, they're only going to come back at us for just having a gun. And if this was anyone else but Hunter Biden, I mean, I'm not even going to throw Trump in there. Let's say it's, Ted Cruz's family. They would be doing the same thing. And Ted Cruz's kid would probably spend 20 years in prison. Are we going to see any prison time? Or are they going to soften up? Is Biden going to pardon him? And all the media said there he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. And he says, no, 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 no. I'm not going to pardon him. He's got to pay the price. Well, we'll see. Just listening, I don't even want to get into Biden, Peters, whoever he is, on what he did over the weekend because it was just absolutely embarrassing. And now other countries are laughing, just like Iran is. Iran is sitting there laughing, saying, yeah, they're going down. They got a dummy for a president. And that's exactly what they're saying. I mean, those aren't my words. It's time now that we have to look and think about who we elect on the next election. And with this um, um, this strike that's going on, folks. This is big because when Biden got into office, he shipped a lot of the plants not only to Mexico but to China. And now these people have been sitting, and everybody's like, "Wow, they don't need more money." The cost of living has went up. They have now cut them a day. They're talking of no overtime. If you work 8 hours and they still need you to stay a few more hours, they're not going to give them overtime. That's why they're so angry. And Biden should have been there. He should have jumped on Air Force One and went there and started talking to these guys. They said they have representatives from the White House that is trying to work deals with them, but it's just to go back to work. They are fighting for more gas type of cars and oil instead of the EVs. They said the EVs just aren't selling. So, and they do need people. They don't need to close down another plant and then have people leave so they can put the migrants in. And speaking of the migrants in New York today, I seen AOC and then I seen Nadler speak. Nadler was pissed. Boy, I haven't seen Nadler this mad since he lost out with the impeachment and about Chinagate with the Clintons. Yeah, he didn't get mad about that dress. It was Chinagate that got him. And he couldn't defend it. He was the Clinton lawyer during the impeachment. So, so what I found out was they expected the migrants to be there and they would support AOC and Nadler and those that came forward today. Then they said they had some of the mega. I didn't see any. And my friend that went there to the one in New York said she looked around and asked where the Trump supporters were. They said there were none. And she said, well, who's all these people? And they said these are Democrats fed up with the mayor, the governor, and these people fixing to try and speak. We want the border closed. So, what we seen, if you guys could go back and watch protests, there was no red hats, there was no flags. It was all America first. Well, they were chanting, close the border. Now, we had the migrants that were saying, where's our stuff? Where's our food? Where's our card? Where's our support? Where, where are you to help us? So they're yelling at the Democrats, then their own Democrats are yelling at them to close the border, and you could hear absolutely nothing. I don't know if you guys heard it or not. I watched it and man, I had tears. I was just saying, you know what? New York is going to flip. New York, these Democrats are done. And the same way with Michigan, Missouri, Kentucky, where these car plants are. They're saying the same thing. Biden isn't helping them. They might as well switch parties. They said it's 50-50 to go independent or go um, to the Republican side because they feel the Republicans will give them a fair shake. So I heard AOC try to talk. I heard Nadler try to talk and another guy, and there was chants so loud over the top of them you couldn't hear what they were saying. But what they want to do is, hey, we need to kind of lower the employment cost so that we can get more migrants into work. So they're trying to get migrants to work without visas. They're trying to get migrants in without getting vaccinated. That was the other thing. They don't have to get vaccinated until they get a job, then they got to go get vaccinated. The kids don't have to get into school. So as they're forcing us with a mask, saying that it's okay for the migrants just to come through our borders, go to any town they want, get any job they want, and they're going to help them out, and possibly be sick with what disease? Yeah. Um, so just a reminder, as soon as I finish up with news, I will start trivia, and you'll see the opening. I'm going to just do that just so everybody can, when they're re-watching, they can move it to the trivia mark and see it, and then just watch trivia if they want. All right, I'm getting excited about it. Um, Now, Zelensky is expected to visit Washington as Congress is um, debating $24 billion. Let me make sure I get this right. $24 billion in aid for Ukraine. And when asked, where is the other aid gone? They won't let the United States or Congress, anybody in Congress, know what the money for aid has been spent on. This is for humanitarian aid. So they say. And so this is another 24 billion. And plus what Biden promised and others. So it brings the total of probably about $40 billion that this administration wants to give to Zelensky. Are they, who's hungry? What's this going to go for? Who's it going to be shipped to? Will it be your military? Will it be the people? They don't want to tell us. It's the first time in history we are looking at a president that is giving aid to another country that doesn't have to um, respond or give us what they're going to spend it on. Now, a lot of this started back in the Obama administration. Oh boy, Obama administration when he started giving money to Iran. Now, and then you look back even to Iraq with George Bush. Now, he was even giving aid to Iraq to be able to defend itself. But what we wanted out of it was oil. So now we're moving forward to Ukraine and we're giving them millions and billions and billions of dollars for humanitarian aid, for weapons, for uh, bigger ammunition, more troops. And then Zelensky has the nerve, and I think this could be rumors, to threaten Europe and say, if you don't put boots on the ground and on my border, and we might have to take action. Uh, it just only gets worse. 8 House Democrats join with GOP to fight for California's electric mandate. And what they're saying is, more and more we're seeing the electric grid failure that they're pushing. There's not enough stations, electric EV stations. There's not enough people that have them on their homes. There's not enough to get you to go where you need to go, unless you're in a 15-minute city or in the city. And even the governor is saying in New York, well, everybody just needs to walk or they need a bike. And that they said they're going to prove that it's best to go bike, because now all their delivery services, they're going to have on bikes. They actually have a UPS truck that's connected to a bike. Oh boy. Um, um, Now, we are always looking for resources here, folks. Always. And they found out that there might be. They've been looking for the past 2 years. Uh, and they want to use it on electric cars to move away from oil. And um, uh, it is a resource that they need to they say, control the petroleum industry. Oil and gas companies are ramping up on investments, extracting brine, a solution that's found underground, a source of lithium, the metal that's wisely used for rechargeable batteries. So now you understand why they're doing this. It's lithium. And I've seen it more and more where, if the pipeline or the lithium or the substance is on your property, they could take your property and make you move, and they take over. Don't let this happen. Oh boy. Um, According to a report from Energy Wire, lithium, nickel, and cobalt and graphite demands are skyrocketing. And so they're actively exploring now, from sea to shining sea, for this lithium. Will they find it? Will they let us know? And at this time now, uh, are we going to get it, store it, and then sell it like Hillary did? Hillary sold the lithium. So we need to be able to vote the right people in, and do like what New York is doing. The normal people are just fed up. They're fed up with this administration. Okay. The one thing that, we're seeing Nancy Pelosi in the news a lot, and I thought, why are we seeing her in the news? And Nancy Pelosi's kind of a flashy gal. That's what I call her. She's all over the place. She wants to make sure you pay attention to her. Well, she got sneaky this last week, and why? Because she now has put Alex Soros on her books, and he will be working side by side with her. So yeah, Alex Soros and Nancy Pelosi. Now, isn't that frightful? I mean, that should give you nightmares all weekend. Yeah, I mean, I heard about it and I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And I think these people that are speaking at these rallies and they read, I think they ought to say, yeah, and we're reading off, but we have to make sure we don't steer away from the cards. And then when they're done, say, Nancy, you want us to rip these up for me? I know that's cruel and it's mean and it's a stab, uh, but she deserves it. 5 times she was removed from the Capitol for being drunk. She's not what you think she is. And it was her and Barbara Boxer and Camilla Harris and a few others in California that shut the state down. All right, I don't want to get too far into this. I want to make sure I get all this news so that I can have a trivia as soon as possible. Um, and why aren't the politicians even looking outside the DC ring? Is what I call it. It's prestige. It's nice. Even those stores are closing down. But what has got DC residents in an uproar is they're afraid to even go out and drive. They're afraid to go from point A to point B because they might be shot. They might be uh, jumped. They could be even, even if you don't drive your vehicle and you try to get on the train, they're being jumped. And now DC residents are now complaining that even a drive short from home and short distances, um, they're afraid to even go to because of the drive-by shootings. It's increased so bad, folks. Um, the FBI is looking at the character of Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. They're getting a lot of complaints, and I'm not sure what they are. It's not listed when I go look. I'll give it a few days and try it again. If not, um, I'll try to get a hold of it for you guys. All right. Chicago Mayor Johnson wants to open um, a city-owned grocery store, folks. Now this is like for those that have never lived on base, that's kind of what it is. It'll be, they're talking generic brand uh, items. They do that in China. Um, then this is a Chicago mayor. He wants to do this. He said this would be the best thing, and then you wouldn't have to pay Walmart prices. And if it just says the brand on it, like I know you guys have seen it. It says it has coffee on it, or it has bread, or it has peanut butter on it, or corn. They're going to cut off them labels, or do away with the labels and have it just the name. And they said that way the city owned grocery stores will be able to control the price gouging that Kroger, Safeway, Walmart, Sam's, and others keep imposing on their customers. What do you think? I don't know. I'm still on the rocks and the bugs that's in the soup, and that was out of Australia. Boy, well, how much more? How can he? Um, Susan, I'm not sure. Is who running? Um, uh, Hun- uh, is Biden running? Is that what you're asking? And what about how can he hold a position if he is a non-citizen? Let me know who that is you're talking about. So um, when we are looking at, oh boy, uh, Alex Soros with Nancy Pelosi. I don't want to get too far off that. Um, will he run in on the next election? Is this their new boy that they're going to promote, or is he like remember the Podesta brothers? The Podesta brothers were very wealthy, very powerful, but they were off on the sidelines all the time. And when they did the dirty deed, they disappeared. See, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen with this. Um, Um, oh boy, we're having what this is. Oh boy, let me see. They say it's a crisis. Um, a pilot is now revealing that planes are avoiding tragedy way more than what the airlines have disclosed. It's terrified passengers, and passengers are now, they get on there, they got their phones rolling just to make sure they make it in the sky, this pilot says. One passenger said two flight attendants fell to the floor as they served drinks during a recent close call. They sent a letter to the House Oversight Committee, and they stated recently that the close call incidents have been eroding the public's confidence and in the air and rail safety even. And safety is the necessities through invention. HPJ-280's flight crew read back the controller's instruction to line up and wait. However, they began taking off instead, so they had to quickly take their seats. The airport surface detection equipment, and it has been altered, folks. Uh, the controller issued a go round instructions to be able to keep the plane in the air. I guess it shuts it. The way he explained it was they shut it down, or the pilots down, so they won't let the people know live that they're having engine trouble. So wow. All right, we're just about there. And so Susan, you ready for trivia? Um, Now more and more, I think me and Lee are going to address the border next week. But more and more, and you don't hear about this on the news, they're keeping it very quiet, where they say, a mini war, or I guess a proxy war that is on our borders. And they've got the National Guard, and even some of the UN has been placed there to keep people from just flying over the border and make them go stand in the line. But they're not necessarily doing this. And now we are seeing cartels taking over little towns on our side of the border. And then when we go to tell them they can't do this, then it's a huge, I say it's a war, because they've got exactly what Ukraine has for military equipment. And yeah, that's just scary right there. And so now they are engaging in a war for the border. And they want, what they're trying to do is move it in to the United States land by about 5 to 10 miles. That way they can put their own cartel in place. Boy, that's scary. I think about that, and it's like we have China and the United States. We have China and Russia and Cuba. We have all of these men ages 15 to 25 pouring over the border. And where's their wives? Where are the families? Or they just come on their own? And Venezuela, Colombia, and even Brazil is warning what they're see the influx is all terrorist. So we're going to have to take a look at all this if we can get to a new plan. And I know I tell you it's not the man, it's the plan. Let's see the plan they put into effect to be able to go city to city and county to county and get rid of the not only crooked cops, but terrorists that are getting in our country. And the cops are horrible, folks. We have so defunded them that the only thing left is bad cops. And so, the Democrats are going to say, hey, we got this idea of bringing in a secret police. That's the problem. Don't fall for that one, please. Don't fall for that. Okay. Oh boy, I'm not sure. This one here, I don't think I've read it. Huh. I pull stuff, and most time I read it, but sometimes if it's the end, I don't really read it. Um, a commercial airplane pilot revealed um, what he believes to be the reason for a uptick of close call incidents. He said this is happening across America, and what must be done to fix the country's travel system. Now, according to the data, um, there have been 1,500 close call incidences just in 2023, less in 2002, and the lowest was um, uh, close to 17,000. So we've known about the problem, the presidents have known about the problem, and we don't know what they fixed so far because they're not letting us know. It's all top secret. It's all, if you look at what they're building, it's all black because they're not going to let us know. Okay. All right. Anyway, so one of the last things I want to get to is I mentioned this briefly last night with Zelensky and the Pandora Papers. Now, I haven't read the whole thing, but there's thousands of pages, I believe. That he was a big part of this. And when we look at Zelensky and are they winning the war? Not really. Today they even claim they got one city back. Now, they only got the one city because Putin's letting them. Putin is sitting with 500,000 troops ready to go. He's not putting them out there. He's letting a little bit at a time. And to me, what's wrong with that is you put a little bit and the Ukraine's fighting it. You put a little bit, It almost gives Ukraine the sense of victory. But Putin isn't one. He knows the time. He knows the hour when he's going to say enough's enough and strike. So hopefully it's just Ukraine. Okay, people, that is it for today. And of course, come on back on Monday for more news with William. And I'll be back with Justice for All. We're now going to move into our trivia part of the program. Now, I do have an opening for it. I'm going to let it play through. And then we'll come back and then we'll go ahead and start playing. So, Susan, is there anybody else besides just you? I mean, you could possibly win like that, you and Karen. All right. I want to thank you. Subscribe, hit the like button, and off we go to trivia. And so get your thinking caps on and where to go. Okay, I found it. All right, so subscribe, hit the like button, ring my bell. And so get your trivia hats on. You know why? Because here we go. And we're back, and welcome to Trivia Night. And boy, I'm all ready for this. I got some great trivia. It's a little bit of um, sorted trivia, and so let me get this up here. And there we go. It is Trivia Night. I haven't changed anything except for we now have an opening. And this is how we'll run trivia on Friday nights. We'll do 30 minutes to 40 minutes, maybe an hour of news, and we will keep trivia separate. So, welcome to trivia. And those wishing to join us, there's no news, just join us and come on in. So, we're going to get off to the first one. You guys ready for this? Um, all right. Which movie is Prince Charming from? Karen, we just got to keep sharing and pushing and uh, keeping ourselves from getting a strike. We'll get more people playing. Wow. The views that we had last week, we might get more players. Which um, movie is Prince Charming from? Well, I think everybody forgets, and it's so nice outside. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful outside for a lot of us that we just want to get out and go, go, go. I'm ready for pumpkins and pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving. The smell of turkey is in the air. So um, I don't know. I think you scared William last week, Karen. So, and I know Karen knows this one. We don't have Linda in here. So anyway, and the answer is Cinderella. The answer is Cinderella. So we'll go on to the next one. I didn't add to the trivia. Um, I'm going to keep it right about the same timing so that we don't have too long of a show. So, what is this? What is this item? It's an old antique. And I knew it right off, but not everybody knows. Those watching tonight, tell your kids and grandkids what this is. Uh, we didn't have to uh, go 10 miles in the snow uphill. Yeah, we didn't have to do that to be able to use this product. Uh, so, what is it? What is this item? And they're fine. They're digging up, and uh, I went through archaeology and dug up a lot of stuff. But the stuff like these items or bottles are worth a lot of money. So, where is William? I think William. We lost William tonight, and my sister. All right. So, what is it? It's a coffee grinder. The answer is a coffee grinder. If you're over in Facebook or you want to play, folks, just type in your answer and you'll be counted. We'll be sure to make sure you get a warm hello, a warm welcome, and we'll add you in and give you some points. So the answer is a coffee grinder. What is the nickname for the bell of the clock at the Palace of Westminster in London? What is the name of the clock? Or what is the name of the bell? I only know of one, so and I got it right. I didn't know there was others, but yeah. So this is the Palace of the Westminster in London, and what is the nickname? What is the nickname? I got some good questions tonight. All right, what is the nickname? It is Big Ben. The answer is Big Ben. What is this? My first thought was TV antenna. Oh, I might have to take my banner down. so you guys could see the whole product. Um, there. Take a good look at the whole thing. Take a good, don't guess. Um, just take a good look at the whole thing. And see, I thought it was rabbit ears and for the TV, and it's like, nope. So know that it is not rabbit ears. So what is it? What is it? Okay, and the answer is, I've gotten an answer yet. I think I stumped them. I think I stumped them. And the answer is hair clippers or a razor or shaver. Wow. I was thinking it was a vacuum or something. And then I started reading the dimensions. Maybe I should have gave you guys the dimensions. But uh, yeah, it's hair clippers or a shaver. Okay, here we go. Who wrote the famous diary while hiding from Nazis in Amsterdam? The famous diary. Who wrote it? Uh, Karen, were you guesstimating on that one? So, who wrote the famous diary while hiding from the Nazis in Amsterdam? This is pretty easy. I think we all read the book, not only in high school, but uh, they even had now they have movies all over the place. Um, okay, and the answer is, come on, folks out there, yell it in, type it in, and the answer is Anne Frank. What is this? And that is ice cubes in there. So what is it? Now a lot of people have had these, or grandma and grandpa had them, so they knew exactly what this is. A lot of the newer generations wouldn't have a clue what this is. So, uh-oh. It's an ice cream maker. Ice shaver, ice cream maker. No, it's not a shaver, Susan. It's an ice cream maker. Many have them. They're so different now than what they used to be, but that one was an old-fashioned one. You put the ice in, you put the cream in, and someone had to just keep uh, cranking that handle. You remember cranking the handle, or it would be this way. Sometimes it'd be on the side, sometimes it'd be on the back, but you had to have someone sit and crank it and crank it. It was almost like churning butter. I remember churning butter for my grandmother very young. Okay, so on to the next one. Okay, what is this? Now, I thought it was garlic press. This is not a garlic press, folks. What is this? What is this? Yeah, Rocky's going, the little fat boy, 14 pounds of Rocky now. He's way bigger than Jules' head now, folks. He was tinier than Jules' head when we got him. Now he's holding his own and he's taking her toys away from her. So, um, you needed to take turns. Yeah, we did. Karen, when we made that ice cream, we would all take turns. It would all start with the uncles, the aunts and grandmas. They would all be in there cooking, and they would bring it out when they put it all together, and the men would do it first, and they would take turns, and they'd pass it down, and then it went to the kids. And by the time it got through all of us kids, They sent it back over to Grandpa, and he finished it up, and we had the most wonderful ice cream. Uh, a lemon squeezer we got. What is this? Um, like I said, I thought it was a garlic thing, and it's no, it's not a garlic thing. So what is it? And the answer is, I, the answer is a juicer. The answer is a juicer. Okay, how long is a moment? Everybody says, I'll be back in a moment. Just give me a moment. How long is an actual moment? Is it 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 120 seconds, or 180? See, no one knew that there was a time on a moment. Uh, Karen used this one. When your kids say, wait a minute, and you say, what, a moment? If they say yes, then you start looking at the clock and tell them time's up. So, how long is a moment? How long is a moment? There's a couple of multiple choice in here tonight. So, um, how long is a moment? We got Karen with 60 seconds. Uh, I'm gonna go. Oh boy, I can't remember what the answer is, and I know I'll probably pick the one that the answer is for. So I don't know. I'm gonna leave it and let the people in chat. So, and everyone in chat is saying 60 seconds. So how long is the moment in time? The answer is 90 seconds. The answer is 90 seconds. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, what is this? Oh boy, what is this? Karen, too bad we don't have our folks. I would love to have the older generation right now sitting here telling us what these things are. What is this? You'll be surprised at what the answer actually is. So take a good long look at it and to see if you can figure out what is this. Where's Linda tonight? I bet you she would know some of these old things. Maybe not. I don't. A lot. I missed most of them that were on the list it gave me with the pictures. So what is this? Come on, chat. Yeah, I think you guys know what it is, and the answer is. Let's see if you guys can sneak it in real quick before it gives the answer. And the answer is a toaster. The answer is a toaster. So if you said toaster, and you're at home and you're just not wanting to give us the answers and you're doing it, it was a toaster. All right. Which email service is owned by Microsoft? Is it Outlook, Yahoo, or Gmail? Which email service is owned by Microsoft? I thought Microsoft owned everything. I guess not. Seems like they do. No, it wasn't an adding machine. No, they had one, Karen, and I looked at it, and they even had the insides of a microwave. And I thought, no, 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 no. They had a bunch of them. But this one here I picked because, it does kind of look like a toaster in a way if you back it up and you look at it. Then it makes sense, but no, it's not a calculator. All right, so which email service is owned by Microsoft? And me, I thought it was all the above. I thought Microsoft owned it all, but no, they only own one. So, Okay, and the chat room is saying Outlook, and the answer is Outlook. Okay, what is this? Now, this one here, boy, I tell you, I looked at it. I hemmed and hawed, and I looked at every view. I ran the picture uh, kind of through the search, and it gave me more pictures of it, and that's what I was hoping for. And this one stumped me. And when I thought it was like a food processor or something like that, I was wrong. So what is this? You'll be surprised. They must have used this back in the Stone Ages because it don't even look like what it says it is. So what is this? Karen and Susan, what do you think it is? What is this? I showed it to the grandkids and they had no clue. They thought that they asked if it was a simple robot or a pencil sharpener. I said, no, no, it's not that. Nope. I think everybody will be very surprised. Let's see, we got a printing machine. This might even be the first original, I'm thinking, because it had to get, had to get better from there. And it's not really telling you the size either. I would expect this to be pretty good size. Um, let's say 3, 4 foot tall. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's get the answer to this one. And what is it? And they say it is a washing machine. It is a. I'm stumping you guys tonight. Unless William or Linda was in, and they might know it. All right. Oh, yikes! What is this? I don't even know if I want to look at this thing. They said some people think these little guys are cute. So what is this? And he's close to me on my screen, so I can't even look at him because he's too big. But he's not big in life. He's very small. What is this? If you ask me, it would be like something mutant. It'd be the mutant ham sandwich that I threw in the garbage and it came out of the trash. I don't know. So, uh, and the answer is, all right, here we go. And the answer is, it's a naked mole rat. Well, that was scary. In which country were the first Olympic Games held? A beaver. Oh, Susan got that one. In which country were the first Olympic Games held? What is it? No, it wasn't a beaver, boy. You would think that, but yikes. I hope the people in New York don't have those. I mean, I can't think of anybody that has them. It's got to be Europe or something. And the answer, in which country were the first Olympic Games held? And the answer is Greece. Answer is Greece. How many rings are on the Olympic flag? Is it seven? Is it six? Is it five or four? How many rings are on the flag? I was like, I know it. I was saying, I think seven. I was thinking 7 or 8. But don't count on my answer. I'll definitely steer you in the wrong direction. All right. So how many rings are on the Olympic flag? Is it seven, six, five, 4. It's not 3 or 2. And the answer? And the answer is 5. The answer is 5. Okay, so what is this? Boy, we're starting to get to the end. What is this? Now, I'm going to tell you it's a Japanese. The answer has Japanese in it, but what is it? And I've shown this, I believe, before, or it was on the news. So you guys have heard of this creature before. Now, I don't know if I'd want to tackle with something like that in Japan. And I hope it's not in their waterways or their swimming places. Um, all right, so what is this? It's a Japanese what? Karen, do you remember? Karen and Susan watched my first show a lot. I showed this here a couple weeks ago. Do you remember what it was? I brought it back. Yeah, just to see if you guys or see if you guys watch me and listen. And Karen's like, I had the baby that day. Huh, Karen? Yeah, I had the baby. Yeah. The baby knows. Ask little Peanut what it is. I bet you she knows what it is. She'll tell you exactly what this is. All right. So the answer, do we know what it is, or did I get you? Did you get stuck? That was frightening. And the answer is a Japanese spider crab. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to run into that. Karen, can you imagine that come crawling out of Myrtle Beach? How many women would be screaming and grabbing their kids? It'd be like the Jaws movie when they all run from the water. I don't know. I don't think I could go for this one. But it is it is a Japanese spider crab. Do you remember that one though, Susan? When we had the show here a little while back. Oh yeah. All right, so on to the next one. All right, how many manned moon landings have there been? Now, this is the one where we've landed. Is it 8, 5, 6, or 7? How many moon landings have there been? 8 or manned moon landings, where the feet touch the ground. I was looking. I was like Apollo. Yeah, there was 11. There was 13. There was I was on 11 and 13 and 15, and I looked at the numbers. I went, wait a minute, I'm way off, because it wasn't good counting the Apollos. It's counting how many manned moon landings have there been. Yeah, you get a point for that. In fact, you're a point ahead of Susan. So we have to stump Karen now for Karen to get one that Susan didn't. So how many manned moon landings have there been? And don't go by like I did with Apollo. I was 13, 15. When I think it was only 12. And then I looked at the numbers and said, oh, good grief. And then I had to go back and think about it, and I think I still got it wrong. Uh, Susan's got 8. All right, Karen, how many? And the answer, jump in there and get it. Jump in and get that number in there. And the answer is 6. The answer is 6. And on to the next one. Which restaurant's mascot is a clown? Which restaurant's mascot is a clown? Boy, there was that one ice cream parlor out in California. Now that I was thinking about the clown, because it was one they would run sirens, and they beat on a drum, and ferals. So the answer isn't ferals, folks. But my family loved ferals. And get this, um, there was a plane that I think either crashed into a ferals out there or just missed it. It was in Sacramento back in the 70s. I believe it hit the Farrell's ice cream parlor. But Farrell's is cool. All right. So, and as Susan get in, yeah, Susan's got hers in there, and the answer is, I think everybody knows this one because everybody knows Ronald McDonald. Yeah, it's not the clown in the sewer. It's not it. But anyway, I'll have to check on that Farrell's ice cream. I believe it was hit with a plane, or a plane crashed into it in the 70s. And that was out of Sacramento. I'm all full of news. All right, here we go. On to the next one. What is this? I think this little sucker's cute. I mean, I wouldn't mind having one of these, but I don't know if is it a land thing or is it a sea thing. Would you keep it in water or not? So you guys know it's got the little pinchers on the. I don't know. I think those are the front legs, but it's furry. So you kind of know it's a crab species, but what kind? The whole thing is the furry legs. Think furry legs. The furry legs. Anybody know? I like them big ones. Have you seen them great big ones? Can you imagine the meat on them? It's the great big coconut crabs. This isn't a coconut crab, folks. But the coconut crabs, can you imagine the meat you can get out of them legs? Wow. And for those that don't know, I had on the first show, there won't be no turkey hunting in Kansas this year. Uh, Check with your state. They said there are many other states with drought conditions that are not going to allow turkey hunting this year. Susan says, yikes. That's almost as scary as that Japanese spider crab. I think this one's pretty, though, Susan. I kind of like this little guy. It's got the legs like my Jewel does, my older dog, the older puppy, because I leave the long hair on her legs like boots. Yeah, I, I tell her when she prances a lot, so I tell her is she ought to be singing that. What was it? The Fonda gal that sang these boots. These boots are walking. So me and her, I sing it and she prances. I'll have to get a video on it. So, all right. So, and the answer is, boy, we're almost finished. And the answer is, and it makes sense. A Yeti crab. It's a Yeti crab. Makes sense, Susan. It's got the fur. It's a Yeti crab. And it's white. Like Yeti, the abominable snow monster. How, you know, we all grew up watching Rudolph and the abominable snowman. I was like, that's a Yeti. And they're like, no. My friends would be like, you don't know what you're talking about. That's an abominable snow monster. I go, yeah, but it's a it's a Yeti. Okay. Yeti crab. Onward. We're gonna finish this. All right. Which natural disaster is measured with a Richter scale? You got to look at what do we got? We got hurricanes and avalanches and hurricanes. I think I said earthquakes. I don't know which natural disaster is measured with the Richter scale. Which one? Uh, no, it's a bumble. Bumble. Bumble's bounce. Well, see, I'm thinking when I was like 7, 8 years old. I was thinking Yeti. A white Bigfoot. Yeah. Uh, They were like, no, no. I think they were calling it a bumble. Thank you, Karen. I think that's what my friends called it, and I was way off. So, and I think the chat room got this one. I think this one was too easy. All right, and on to the next. The answer is earthquakes. What is the closest planet to the sun? So, what is the closest planet to the sun? Is it Earth, Mars, Mercury, or Venus? Why isn't there songs after every one of the planets? I mean, the only one, I go through it, and the only one that's, if it's like Mars, you think of the Mars bar, uh, and Venus, you think of the song, and Earth, you go, Mother Nature, yeah. They ought to have a song for every single one of the planets, even the sun. So, what is the closest planet to the sun? Earth, Mars, Mercury, or Venus? So, what is it, gals? Where's William? He he um he must have slept. He was afraid you women were going to get him today. And Susan's got Venus down. Susan's got the answer, Venus. So, what is it, Karen? Karen, no Googling. Don't Google. She's got them fast fingers in the iPad now and her phone. We have to watch her for that. And the answer is, all right, hurry up. Karen, get it in there. Hurry up and type it in there. And the answer is Mercury. The answer is Mercury. See, I didn't know that. What is this? Now, we know it's a deer, but there's a type of deer. Now, here's another one, folks. I showed on my first show. I did show this on the weather show. So, if you can, do you ladies remember this one? Peanut knows it. Oh, Karen, she's got it all packed away. And no, those aren't fake teeth. Those are real. It's a type of deer. I think it's comes from Germany. My pen's falling apart here. Oh boy, my pen's broke. The little thing at the end, I'll have to show you. A little cap that you click on at the top. It's not staying in. All right. So what is this? But those teeth are actual teeth. Uh, you're late. Oh, Beth, we're just about done. We're down to the last few. And Beth, we now do, I'm going to do news, and usually about 15 minutes prior on the hour, I'm going to run a special opening for the trivia and run just trivia now. So it's a vampire deer. Well, they got a name. I don't know. I might have to give you credit for vampire deer because that's pretty much what everybody calls it. Now, isn't it pretty? Because that spot under the eye, that's actually the coloring. And I went and looked it up, and I couldn't find out if the males have antlers or not. So, what is the name of this? What is the? You're crying. Why are you crying, Beth? Oh, my pen's broke. It is a tuft deer. It's called a tuft deer. But um, if you said vampire, I'll give you the credit for it. And if you play later on, folks, I just want to say, if you play later on or watching in a later date or over the weekend, give me your answers in the comments. And then if you beat these ladies, then um, I'll let you know on Monday that you whooped them. Yeah. What is the world's most earthquake prone country? Is it Malaysia, Japan, Korea, or Taiwan? Now, those that um, watch my earthquake report probably think this is easy uh, because yeah, it just stands out. And we see a lot of it on the Ring of Fire as it goes around. Some of them are not on the Ring of Fire, and some are. So, so well, somebody's going to have to poke Beth on Facebook and let her know when we're fixing to start. Um, but once again, I moved it to the very end of the show. I do all my news, and then that way people can come in, and once they see the trivia music and opening, then they know they can come in and just stay and play trivia. So trivia will be out there by itself. Um, all right. So the answer is Japan. The answer is Japan. And that's all, folks. So next week we'll do it the same way. I might have to break it up. I might run trivia at 6 so nobody gets confused. And we'll just see how it goes. I'm trying not to run it any later than an hour and a half show. So it's actually 3 shows that I'm doing on Fridays. So we have um, well, let me type it in. I think Susan knows though. And we have a way to go, Karen, with 14. And Susan had 11. Susan had 11. And Beth was 8. So she didn't get none. So, yeah, all out of crackers, all out of the Cracker Jacks. So that is it for tonight, folks. It is Friday. Have a wonderful Friday. Go catch a movie this weekend or get a Redbox movie. If not, remember I told you to check out Tubi. Tubi's got some great free movies. If you want to find something different or old, they also have TV shows. It's a lot like YouTube, except for it doesn't have shows like what I do. All right, please be sure to share and hit the like button. Um, definitely share with friends. Ring the bell so you get notified on Monday that we are on. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.